तस्मै नमः। Bhagavad Gita. We have completed the Dhyana shlokas. Now it is time to enter into Bhagavad Gita proper. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. Ashtadashadhyayini, 18 chapters. And each chapter has a name also. The first chapter is called Arjuna Vishada Yogaha. The name of the chapter is Arjuna Vishada Yogaha. As the name itself suggests, it is about Arjuna's Vishada. Arjuna Vishada. Vishada means shoka, sorrow. The chapter is about Arjuna's sorrow. Sorrow stands for all our emotional problems. Helplessness, loneliness, insecurity, depression, various emotional problems that make us suffer. All such emotional problems are included. And such emotional problems that make us suffer are collectively known as samsara. Therefore, Vishada means samsara. Vishada stands for samsara. And the chapter is explaining Arjuna's Vishada. How Arjuna experienced the problem of samsara. Therefore, chapter 1 explains the problem. Bhagavad Gita is a solution to a problem. If there is a problem, we have to find solution. There is the pandemic, coronavirus, and people are finding solution. Vaccines, treatment. When there was no problem, people didn't bother to find a solution also. Now this problem of samsara, it is not just Arjuna's problem, it is a universal problem. Everyone in the world has the problem of samsara, various forms of emotional issues. Therefore, Arjuna's problem is not unique to Arjuna. It is not just Arjuna specific. It is a universal problem. Whether it is in India or America or Australia, the human mind works in the same way. Therefore, the human problems are similar. The fundamental problems are same. Bhagavad Gita takes Arjuna as a sample. And Arjuna's problem is explained. And a similar problem arises in everybody's life at various points of time. And when Bhagavan gives the solution in the following 17 chapters, the first chapter explains the problem, and the following 17 chapters explain the solution. Solution to the problem of samsara. And when Bhagavan gives the solution, though he is addressing Arjuna, it is not only for Arjuna. The solution is also universal. If the problem is universal, the solution is also universal. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is a universal text. It is meant for all mankind, not just for a particular group of people, not just for people belonging to a cultural group or a linguistic group. It is a universal message. To understand Arjuna's problem, we should know the background of Mahabharata, because Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata, and the first chapter involves the story of Mahabharata. Dhritarashtra and Pandu, they were half brothers. They had the same father, but their mothers were different. Dhritarashtra and Pandu. Dhritarashtra had 100 sons. They are known as Dhartarashtraha. The sons of Dhritarashtra are called Dhartarashtraha. They were 100, and the eldest among them is Duryodhana. The most evil character in Mahabharata, the villain in Mahabharata. Likewise, Pandu also had 5 sons. They are known as Pandavaha. 5 Pandavas. They are the heroes of Mahabharata. Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva. These 5 brothers. They are the heroes of Mahabharata. And among them, though Yudhishthira was the eldest, Arjuna is more prominent because of his special qualities, his noble qualities. Arjuna is outstanding among the 5 Pandavas. The greatest hero. So Pandavas and Dhartarashtras, they were cousins. The cousins the two cousins, they are not in good terms with each other because Dhartarashtraha, especially Duryodhana, wants to expel the Pandavas from their kingdom and have the kingdom for themselves, the kingdom of Hastinapura. The Dhartarashtras want to rule the kingdom without giving any share to their brothers, their cousins. And the Dhartarashtras employed all evil means, all illegitimate means to expel as well as to destroy the Pandavas. And because of the evil deeds of Dhartarashtras, the Pandavas suffered to a great extent. Even they suffered 12 years of exile plus 1 year of incognito, Ajnatavasa. Even after that, the Dhartarashtras were not ready to give any part of the kingdom, even a small piece of land or even a small house, to the Pandavas. Duryodhana was very much reluctant to give anything to the Pandavas, and he chose to fight the Pandavas. That is what resulted in the battle of Mahabharata. The Dhartarashtras are the evil ones, and they had perpetrated all forms of crimes against the Pandavas. Therefore, the Dhartarashtras deserve to be killed because their existence on the earth's surface where it was detrimental not only to the Pandavas but also to all the Dharmika people on the earth. If the Dhartarashtras and their people would survive, they would destroy dharma on this planet earth. They represent adharma. Therefore, from the standpoint of Arjuna as well as the other Pandavas, it was very much proper to fight the war and to destroy the Kauravas, to destroy the Dhartarashtras. Therefore, the Pandava and the Dhartarashtra armies assemble in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And then the fight was about to begin. When the fight was about to begin, Arjuna requests his charioteer, Krishna, to park his chariot in the middle of the two armies, the army of Pandavas and the army of Dhartarashtras. Then Krishna parked the chariot, led the chariot and parked it in the middle of the two armies. And then Arjuna sees the opposite side. When he saw the army of the Dhartarashtras, instead of seeing his enemies, he saw his relatives. In the army of his enemies, there were his relatives, as well as his guru, Dronacharya, his beloved guru, as well as his beloved grandfather, Bhishma, Drona. He loved them very much. He had great love, great affection to Bhishma and Drona. Similarly, he had great love for many other people in the Dhartarashtra army also, like Kripacharya, Ashwathama, Shalya. So many relatives and so many friends. When he saw them and when he imagined fighting them and killing them, he broke down because he could not accept to kill his own near and dear ones. It was not an easy task. Instead of fighting the war, he breaks down into tears and he tells Krishna that he cannot fight the war. Because if they were enemies, if the people in front of him were enemies who are not his relatives, not his own people, then he could have easily fought. But the people in front of him are none but his own relatives. Then Arjuna refuses to fight and he says he will withdraw from the war and if necessary he will even become a sannyasi and lead the life of a beggar. This is the story of chapter 1, and the chapter 1 elaborates on the feelings of Arjuna, what Arjuna felt when he saw the army of Dhartarashtra's. With this background, we will go through the shlokas. The chapter starts with a dialogue between Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra was blind father of Duryodhana, etc. And he happens to be the king of Hastinapura. But he is blind. Therefore, he cannot participate in the war and he cannot even see the war. So he is sitting in his room in Hastinapura. But then he wanted to get the reports of the war. And it was facilitated by Vyasa by providing Divya Chakshu and Divya Shrotram to his assistant Sanjaya. Because of the blessing of Vyasa, Sanjaya was Dhritarashtra's assistant, Dhritarashtra's servant. He had the ability to see and hear what was happening in the battlefield of Kurukshetra from a great distance. He had a special vision and special ability to hear, even from a great distance of several kilometers away. Therefore, Sanjaya is explaining to Dhritarashtra. It is like a live telecast of Kurukshetra. In those days, there was no TV, there was no YouTube, yet The live commentary was possible by Sanjaya because of the yogic power of Vyasa. Therefore, Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya. That is how the chapter begins. We will read Shloka 1. Dhritarashtra uvacha. Please read. Please close your microphone and chant. Dhritarashtra uvacha. You can keep your microphone closed, off, and chant. Yeah. Dharmakshetre kurukshetre samavetaयुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत संजय. Dhritarashtra uvacha. Uvacha means said. Dhritarashtra said. And the following shloka is Dhritarashtra uvacha, is the words of Dhritarashtra. What does Dhritarashtra say? Dharmakshetre kurukshetre samavetaयुयुत्सवः मामकाः पांडवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत संजय. हे संजय, O Sanjaya, he is calling Sanjaya. Dharmakshetre kurukshetre. Kurukshetra is the battlefield. The Mahabharata war took place in Kurukshetra. And Kurukshetra happens to be a Dharmakshetra. Even before Mahabharata war took place, Kurukshetra was a special place. It is a Dharmakshetra. Dharmakshetra means a place where dharma fructifies easily. Any particular crop, if you plant it in a particular place, it gets better yield. For example, where to go grow apple? If you want to grow apple, you have to choose a particular place. You cannot grow apple anywhere in the world. Whether it is apple or grapes or orange, any fruit or any crop, it needs a particular place, a particular climate and particular type of soil to give yield. Likewise, even dharma, the virtues that we practice, gives better yield in some places. The dharma that we practice, dharma are varieties of virtues. There are varieties of virtues known as dharma. It can be dana. Even dana is a dharma. Yajna is a dharma. You perform any type of ritual, it is a dharma. You perform dana, it is also a dharma. You perform tapas, like Ekadashi Upavasa, it is also a dharma. You do a chanting of Vishnu Sahasranama, even that can be dharma. You do Ganga Snanam, it is also dharma. Any act of virtue prescribed in the Shastra is dharma. How much result a particular dharma should produce, it might vary from place to place and time to time. In fact, it depends on various factors. The result of a dharma is influenced by various factors. One such factor is time. That is why we look into auspicious time. If we want to do something, some important action, some important work, we consult the astrology, Jyotish Shastra, and find a time, auspicious time. Even time matters. If something is started in an auspicious time, it gives better result. Likewise, even place matters. If a particular action is done in a particular place, it will have better result than if it is done in some other place. Therefore, Dharmakshetra is a place where dharma gives better yield, better result. There are many Dharmakshetras like Varanasi, Prayag, Rameshwaram, Gokarna, various Dharmakshetras, Naimisharanya. All these are some Dharmakshetras. This land is full of Dharmakshetras. Certain places are fixed. And if certain rituals are performed in that kind of place, it gives better result. Sometimes, many times more result than if it is performed in other places. That is why we do Shraddha in Gaya. Gaya Shraddha. If Shraddha is performed in Gaya, then it is as good as performing Shraddha for a lifetime. So it is a Dharma Kshetra. Likewise, Kurukshetra is also a Dharma Kshetra. If Dharma is performed in Kurukshetra, it will give better result. And another point is, in a Dharma Kshetra, not only Dharma gets amplified, even Adharma will get amplified. Just like a Dharma. If one performs Adharma, even Adharma will get more result than if it is performed in other place. For example, if someone tells lies, if someone tells a lie in Bangalore, he may not get as much papa as telling a lie in Varanasi. Because Varanasi is a Dharma Kshetra. More papa in telling a lie. Therefore, that is why Kurukshetra was chosen for the Mahabharata war. In a Dharma Kshetra, people will have fear to violate Dharma. It is a Dharma Yuddha. Even in war, people would follow certain Yuddha Dharma. They cannot wage war at night. And they cannot wage war hiding somewhere. There are many dharmas, many values and rules to be followed, even while waging the war. It is also like a match, like a cricket match or any match. There are rules, and both parties should abide by those rules. Then it is Dharma Yuddha. And being a Dharma Kshetra, in Kurukshetra, people would abide by the laws of war. That is why Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha. Yuyutsavaha. Yuyutsu means one who is ready to fight. One who wants to fight the war is called a Yuyutsu. Pandavas and Kauravas, Pandavas and Dhartarashtras, both are Yuyutsus. They are ready to fight. They are willing to fight. Therefore, they are Yuyutsavaha. They are eager to fight. And who are they? Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva. Dhritarashtra says, my people, my sons, and their people. Dhartarashtraha. And Pandavaha, the Pandavas, and their people, not just Pandavas. They had many supporters, just like Dhartarashtra's had many supporters. Even Pandavas had many supporters. What did they do? Kim akurvata? What did they do in the battlefield of Kurukshetra? Dhritarashtra is asking. And then Sanjaya answers from the next shloka. We will read Sanjaya uvacha दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकम् व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत् Sanjaya uvacha. Sanjaya said, and Sanjaya is able to see what is happening in Kurukshetra. And he has seen that in the beginning of the war, on day 1, Mahabharata war was fought for 18 days. Now on day 1, in the morning, before the war was declared, all the armies, the army of the Pandavas and Kauravas, they assembled in their respective places. Then Duryodhana, what Duryodhana did, Sanjaya is telling first, because Dhritarashtra is Duryodhana's father and he is very much attached to Duryodhana. That is why, despite Duryodhana being an evil prince, Dhritarashtra allowed him to do what he wants to do. He did not make any effort to check Duryodhana in spite of all his evil deeds. And Sanjaya knows this very well. Sanjaya knows very well that, first of all, Dhritarashtra is eager to know what his son has done. Though there is nothing great about his son, Sanjaya has nothing great to say about Dhritarashtra's son. Yet Dhritarashtra, the father, wants to hear about his son, what he did. This is what happens with every parent. They want to see their own son or daughter's performance in any match or any program. They want to see how their son or daughter has performed. Likewise, Dhritarashtra wants to know how his son is performing in the battlefield. That is why he first said, Mamakaha, my people. Mamakaha came first. and Pandavas Chaiva came afterwards in the first sloka. Therefore, Sanjaya is first talking about Duryodhana. And Duryodhana had a greater force, 11 Akshauhinis, which is much larger army compared to the army of Pandavas. Despite having a larger force, Duryodhana is not very confident about winning the war. He had a fear of losing the war. That is why he wanted to get some comforting, some pep talks from his guru Dronacharya. That is why he is approaching Drona. दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा तदा then when the two armies assembled व्यूढं पाण्डवानीकं दृष्ट्वा Duryodhana when he saw the army of Pandavas, Pandavanikam, the army of Pandavas, which was Vyudham, and it was arrayed, the army stood in a formation, proper battle formation, and seeing the army of the Pandavas, Duryodhana was perplexed because he is very much desperate to win the war. Duryodhana cannot think of losing the war. And he is not very confident because already, even before Mahabharata war, he was defeated by Arjuna once in Virata Parva. All the Dhartarashtras, including Bhishma and Drona and Karna, they were defeated by Arjuna single-handedly. It had already happened even before Mahabharata war. Therefore, Duryodhana knows the strength of Pandavas. Therefore, he is not confident. Therefore, he approaches his guru, Raja Duryodhana, Acharyam Upasangamya. He approached Acharya and Vachanam Abravit. He spoke the following words. The following words are the words of Duryodhana. We will see. Shloka 3. Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. Duryodhana tells his guru Dronacharya. Dronacharya is the teacher of both Pandavas and Dhartarashtras. He had taught all of them. Therefore, even in the opposite army, even in the army of Pandavas, the people present are the disciples of Dronacharya. And Arjuna happens to be the greatest among them, the most beloved disciple of Dronacharya. Also, the captain, the commander in chief of the army of Pandavas, Dhrishtadyumna. Dhrishtadyumna was the son of Drupada. Drupada's son was Dhrishtadyumna. He was the commander in chief of the army of Pandavas. And he was also a student of Dronacharya. Therefore, Duryodhana explains the army of Pandavas. All the people who are commanding the opposite army are none other than your own disciples, your own students. Perhaps by saying this, Duryodhana expects Dronacharya to influence his students and make them accept defeat. Perhaps that is Duryodhana's intention. Anyway, they are your students. Tell them to stop fighting or ask them to join us instead. He is expecting something, some favor from Dronacharya. Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamo. Hey Acharya, Duryodhana says, Hey Acharya, O teacher. Dronacharya is the teacher of archery. He was the teacher of all martial arts, art of warfare. Hey Acharya, Panduputranam Mahatim Chamum Pashya. Etam Mahatim Chamum. This great army of the Pandavas, Panduputranam, Vyudham Drupadaputrena, and it is commanded by Drupadaputra, the son of Drupada, Dhrishtadyumna. And he is none other than your own Shishya, Tava Shishyeda Dhimata. He is your Shishya and he is a wise man, Dhimata. So, in chapter 1, especially in this part, we don't have much to explain because the Upadesha has not begun. It is a story part. That is why we can go a little faster in this portion of chapter 1. अत्र शूरा महेश्वासाः भीमार्जुनसमायुधि युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः धृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित्कुन्तिभोजश्च शैब्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्तः उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथाः. He is explaining and enumerating some of the important people in the army of Pandavas. Atra yudhi, in this battlefield, in the army of Pandavas, atra yudhi bhimarjuna samaha, there are many people who are no less than Bhima and Arjuna in the art of warfare. Yudhi, in the art of warfare, they are Bhimarjuna Samaha. They are as good as Bhima and Arjuna. And they are Shuraha and Maheshwasaha. They are Shuraha, very brave, and they are very good in shooting the arrows. Maheshwasaha, very good in archery. And he enumerates a few. Yuyudhanaha, Virataha, Drupadascha Maharathaha. Maharathaha Drupadaha. Maharatha is a title for his expertise in the art of warfare. Maharathaha Drupadaha. Drishtaketuhu Chekitanaha. Viryavan Kashirajaha. Viryavan is an adjective of Kashirajaha. Viryavan means brave. Brave Kashiraja. Purujit Kuntibhojascha. Purujit Kuntibhoja. All these are various names. Shaibyascha Narapungavaha. Narapungavaha Shaibyaha. Shaibya is another person. And he is Narapungavaha. He is hero among men. Yudhamanyuscha Vikrantaha. Vikrantaha means valorous. Valorous Yudhamanyu. Yudhamanyu is another name. Uttamojascha Viryavan. And the valorous Uttamojaha. Another name. Saubhadraha. Saubhadraha means son of Subhadra. His name is Abhimanyu. Arjuna's wife is Subhadra. Her son means Arjuna's son. Abhimanyu. And Draupadeyascha. And the sons of Draupadi. there were 5 sons of Draupadi, and they are known as 5 Upapandavaha. Upapandavaha, the sons of Pandava. Sarva eva Maharathaha. All of them were Maharathaha. They all had the title of being Maharatha. Very great fighters, great warriors. This is a description of the army of Pandavas by Duryodhana. Now he will describe his own army. We will see that in the following session next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.